朋友们，最近一段中国学者阐述世界百年未有之大变的视频在外网火了。他将百年大变分成了5个层次，清晰明了的向主持人和观众做了阐述，讲得非常的好。所以呢，我也想跟大家分享一下。视频放在节目后半段，在此之前先简单聊几句。在2017年中国就已经提出了这一极具前瞻性和洞察力的论断。长久以来呢，很多国家都已经习惯了西方主导的世界格局，对于西方也是亦步亦趋，犹如温水煮青蛙，浑然不觉世界正在发生深刻的变革。但中国不一样，中国凭借自身的发展节奏和战略眼光，察觉到了整个世界正在经历的巨大变化。在全球发展的浪潮中，中国是唯一有实力、有潜力挑战西方主导格局的力量。过去几十年，中国经济飞速发展，科技实力不断增强，国际影响力也持续提升。我们不仅看到了未来的发展图景，还将其化作了一个个清晰的目标，稳步推进。如今呢，国际形势是越发复杂多变，全球冲突不断，经济形势也不稳定，而美国这个旧霸主的实力正在快速衰落，这些都和我们当初的判断是不谋而合的。所谓百年未有之大变局绝非简单的表面变化，而是全方位、深层次而且不可逆转的变革。西方对于中国提出的这个百年未有之大变局还缺乏深刻的认知，他们虽然能够感觉到中国在变强，但是很难想象中国可以强大到足以颠覆几百年来西方主导的世界格局。因为中国一直秉持着和平发展的理念，即便强大呢，也没有通过战争等极端的手段去挑战西方。我们深知管积粮、缓称王的道理，把更多的精力放在了自身建设上，发展经济、提升科技水平、改善民生，先让自己的肌肉强壮起来。这其实呢，也是一种智慧，在悄无声息中发展壮大，麻痹对手。等到西方彻底的清醒过来，世界格局就已经尘埃落定了。那么百年未有之大变之后呢，全新的由中国人领导的世界格局会是什么样的呢？中国人心中早有清晰的蓝图，但是目前其他国家对于中国主导的世界格局还存在着疑虑和警惕，这就需要我们更加积极主动，向全世界阐述自己对于世界的认知和理解，讲好中国故事，传播好中国声音。可以预见未来中国主导的世界格局会是一个和平发展、合作共赢的世界，各国之间呢互相尊重、平等对待，共同应对全球性的挑战。中国也有信心、有能力来引领世界走向一个更加辉煌的未来，让百年未有之大变局成为人类历史发展的新起点。这对于全球人民来说都是一个最大的福音。
My understanding of this unprecedented change of century is different from that of many people. I'm not completely focused on century of change because we mentioned centuries. So how many centuries? Because according to the meaning of the Chinese language, President Xi only emphasized century and did not emphasize how many century it was. So in my opinion, there are at least 5 levels or 5 concepts of century changes. The first is that a great change that has not happened in 500 years. That's the first level. That is since the rise of the West in the age of exploration in the 16th century, Western civilization now has experienced an unprecedented decline in the past 500 years. And the second level is that the great change that has not happened in 400 years, that is the unprecedented great change brought by the AI evolution, seeing the mechanical revolution in the 17th century. Because as we all know, in the 17th century, there happened the 3 scientific and technological revolutions, that is mechanization, electrification, and computerization, right? And these 3 rounds of technological revolution are all liberating human leaps of 5 senses. But this time, the AI revolution is liberating our brains. So this huge change is something that humans have never encountered in the past 400 years. And the third level is that the great change that has not happened in 300 years. That is, since the 18th century, the democratic political system established in the West now has entered an unprecedented decline, in my opinion. Democracy is a good thing, of course. Democracy is a good word. But the problem is, democracy once represented advancement, but now the Western, especially in United States, I mean the U.S. Style democratic political system now is a little bit outdated. So the world need an upgrade and revolutionary of political system. And the fourth level is a great change that has not happened in 200 years. That is, since the 19th century, the academic division system of university established in the West now has encountered a huge crisis. Both of us work in the university. We are very obvious know that nowadays the major division, for example, economics, cannot explain very well economic phenomena. And political science cannot explain political phenomena very well. Sociology cannot explain social phenomena very well, and so on. So I think, in my opinion, the entire social science is facing an unprecedented reshaping of knowledge. And final things, the fifth and the last one is a great change that has not happened in 100 years. That is the international system. Because the international system 100 years ago, the international system centered the North Atlantic as a power center since the early of the 20th century. But now the international system, I mean the center of power system, transferring to the West Pacific as a center. So I think this is a 5 level. To put it simply, that is the civilization change that has not happened in 500 years, the technological change that has not happened in 400 years, the institutional change that has not happened in 300 years, and the knowledge change of university that has not happened in 200 years, and the power change that has not happened in 100 years. So this is my systematic understanding of the current complex system. And of course, I think, as you mentioned, some people, they often explain that so-called unprecedented change of century is just regarded as decline the West or the decline of the United States. I think this is only a part of the phenomena. We need to look at this major change of 100 years from a more complex perspectives, because it's a very complicated international evolution now. Not only the power structure among the big powers, including the decline of the United States, but also in technological level, in knowledge level, in institutional level, and in civilization level. So I think President Xi mentioned this term. Now in China, it's a very popular, it's very important. So I think if you want to understand what China decision-making thinking now, I think you can start this term.
I think it's important to have that wider view, because often it's, we focus on the trade war between China and the US, seeing which country is more, the Chinese replacing the US as leading economy, but it becomes very narrow if you don't look at the past 500 years in terms of connecting the world, the financial connections, and as you said, the technologies as well. We had industrial revolutions in the past, but of course, automating the cognitive is also something very different. Anyways, I wanted to move this along a bit as well to the more specifics then of China, because given all of these huge changes taking place, how does this translate into foreign policy objectives and priorities? What is it that China is trying to drive forward? Because again, this is very, very all these changes happening at once is very disruptive, and it's, I guess, also in China's interest to ensure that this disruption are done in an orderly, peaceful manner. So what is it what are the objectives of China, I guess?
Well, I think this is a very, very important question to understand the current China situation. But I have to say that China, as you mentioned, China's main goal, or China's foreign policy target, has never changed, which is to achieve the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. So why I talk about this, I think if you understand China's history over the past 100 years, it will be easy to find how strong the Chinese people desire for national rejuvenation. Because since the Opium War in 1840, almost all Western powers have invaded China at that time. I mean, since the Opium War in 1840. So now, recording this period of time, it is simply unbelievable. Unbelievable for all Chinese people. It's a very bad memory. Every Chinese people, since we are childhood, we are in the primary school. The teacher told us, they said, the history has told the Chinese that backwardness would be beaten. If you are very weak, you will be beaten. So you have to become a strong nation. So I think the strong country is a basic guarantee for national security and development. Look at Palestine now. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Iraq 20 years ago, or Libya 15 years ago. So many negative lessons teach every year, every month, every day to Chinese people. So that's why we remember it. So in the past 76 years, China has been working hard for national rejuvenation. So now China has become the world's second largest economy and has not given up this dream. We will continue this dream of national rejuvenation. But on the other hand, China does not want to become a nation of revenge. And as you mentioned, and also China does not want to repeat the old story of a strong country must be hegemonic, or the strong ruling the weak. We don't want to repeat this. Some people in China, some people in the world, especially some people in the West, they always think that China would invade other countries when China becomes stronger. So I think that is because they judge others by their own standard, which is reflection their own dark history. Because they used to do this, so they think China would do the same in the future. So we often say that you look at the past 76 years, during the Mao Zedong period, China solved the problem of being beaten. And during the Deng Xiaoping period, in the 1980s, China solved the problem of being stuffed. So now, in the President Xi Jinping's period, we have to solve the problem of being scolded. So that is to gain more respect from the world. So that's why in the past 10 years, China has proposed the Belt and Road Initiative, the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative. And also we want to promote the construction of a community of shared future of mankind, hoping to make a strong China more respected. And from this point, so I think nowadays, as you mentioned, the current priority of Chinese foreign policy is to how to make great contribution to the future world through a series of cooperation and struggle, gain more respect from the world, and then achieve national rejuvenation. And I think this process is not easy.